3 years ago, if someone had told me that I would fall in love with Liam Carter, I would have laughed in their face. Actually, no. I would have walked away. Because Liam Carter wasn't just another guy from my high school. He was the reason I used to eat lunch alone. The reason I spent years wondering what was wrong with me. The reason I learned how much a few cruel words could hurt. And now? Now he was the person I trusted most. Or at least, I thought he was. The first sign that something was wrong came on a Friday afternoon in Aspen, Colorado. A text message. One simple text message. Liam glanced at his phone and immediately turned the screen away from me. Most people wouldn't have noticed. I did. Because when you've spent years waiting for people to hurt you, you learn to notice everything. The change in someone's voice. The hesitation before an answer. The nervous smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes. And Liam suddenly looked nervous. At the time, I told myself I was overthinking it. I had no idea that less than 24 hours later, a blizzard would trap us alone in a mountain cabin. One room. One bed. No way out. And a secret that could destroy everything we had built together. Or prove that people really can change. The trip had been Tyler's idea. A weekend getaway in the Colorado mountains with a group of friends before summer officially started. Nothing fancy. Just hiking trails, cabin rentals, campfires, and a chance to escape Denver for a few days. By the time we arrived in Aspen, the sky was bright blue and the mountains looked like something from a postcard. I stepped out of the SUV and stretched. This place is gorgeous. It is, Liam agreed. Then he wrapped an arm around my waist and pulled me against him. My heart still reacted every time he touched me. Which was honestly embarrassing after 6 months of dating. You okay? He asked. Yeah. You look nervous. I laughed. You literally bullied me for half of high school. Being vulnerable around you still feels weird sometimes. The smile on his face disappeared instantly. It always did when I mentioned the past. Not because he was angry. Because he regretted it. Ethan. I'm joking. Not completely. I sighed. He wasn't wrong. Some wounds healed slower than others. Liam looked down at the ground. I wish I could change it. I know. And I did know. That was the strange thing. The Liam standing beside me now wasn't the same boy who had hurt me years ago. Back then he had been arrogant, immature, and desperate to impress the wrong people. Now he was patient. Protective. Kind. The transformation had taken years. And somehow, against all logic, I had fallen in love with him. Tyler leaned out of the driver's window. Are you two done being disgustingly cute? I rolled my eyes. No. Great. Then do it somewhere else. Some of us are carrying luggage. Everyone laughed. Even Liam. The mood lightened immediately. For a while, everything felt perfect. We spent the afternoon exploring hiking trails. Took pictures near a mountain lake. Shared snacks. Made stupid jokes. The kind of memories couples are supposed to make. But around dinner time, I noticed it again. That same strange tension. Liam's phone buzzed. His expression changed instantly. Just for a second. Then he grabbed the phone. Read the message. And locked the screen. Too quickly. Tyler was sitting across from us around the long wooden table. The moment Liam checked his phone, Tyler glanced up. They exchanged a look. A weird look. One that lasted less than a second. But I noticed it. Because once again, Liam looked nervous. What? I asked. He blinked. What? You've checked your phone like 5 times. Oh. He laughed. It's nothing. Nothing. The most suspicious word in the English language. I forced a smile. Sure. The conversation moved on. Everyone else seemed completely normal. I was the only one paying attention. The only one noticing that Liam's phone kept lighting up. The only one noticing that Tyler kept checking whether Liam had seen the messages. The only one noticing that neither of them explained anything. Maybe I should have ignored it. Maybe I should have trusted him. But trust wasn't always easy for me. Especially when the person involved had once given me every reason not to trust him. Later that night, we gathered around a fire pit outside the lodge. The mountain air was cold. The stars were unbelievable. Liam sat beside me with his arm around my shoulders. Everyone was laughing at one of Tyler's ridiculous stories when another notification appeared on Liam's phone. The screen lit up. For half a second, I saw the sender's name. Tyler. Then Liam quickly flipped the phone over. Face down. My stomach tightened. Why would Tyler be texting him while Tyler was sitting 20 feet away? I tried to ignore it. I really did. But the question refused to leave my head. When the fire finally died down and everyone started heading inside, Liam kissed my forehead. You look tired. I'm fine. You sure? Yeah. He studied me for a moment. Like he knew something was bothering me. Then his phone buzzed again. And once again, his attention shifted. Just long enough for me to notice. Just long enough for doubt to sneak in. As we walked back toward the lodge, snowflakes began falling from the dark sky. Small at first. Almost beautiful. None of us knew a major storm was approaching. None of us knew we would soon be trapped together. And none of us knew that whatever Tyler and Liam were hiding was about to become impossible to ignore. Because before this trip was over, I was going to discover a secret that would force me to question everything I believed about the man I loved. I woke up sometime after midnight to the sound of wind slamming against the lodge windows. For a moment, I thought I was dreaming. Then another loud gust rattled the glass. The entire building seemed to shake. Wow, someone muttered from another room. The storm had arrived. By morning, what had started as a light snowfall had transformed into a full-blown Colorado blizzard. The mountains outside had disappeared behind walls of white. Snow buried the roads. Visibility was almost zero. And everyone's weekend plans vanished with it. You're kidding me. Tyler stared out the window while checking weather updates on his phone. We're stuck. No way, one of our friends said. The roads are closed. Completely closed. A collective groan filled the room. I glanced toward Liam. He was already looking at me. For a brief second, everything else disappeared. The storm. The cabin. The weird tension from yesterday. It was just him. Then his phone vibrated. Again. And the moment was gone. Something twisted in my stomach. I hated that it bothered me. I hated that I even noticed. But I did. Every single time. The group spent most of the morning trying to figure out what to do. Eventually, the lodge manager delivered even more bad news. Part of the building had lost power after heavy snow damaged nearby lines. Several rooms couldn't be used safely. Guests had to be relocated. The manager apologized repeatedly while sorting everyone into whatever space remained available. It quickly became chaos. People arguing. People complaining. People dragging luggage from one room to another. Then came the announcement that changed everything. We only have one heated room left available. The manager looked uncomfortable. It has one bed. The entire room exploded with laughter. I immediately knew where this was going. Tyler pointed directly at us. Oh, that's easy. No. Absolutely yes. No. Ethan and Liam get the room. The others instantly agreed. I buried my face in my hands. Liam laughed. I think we've been voted off the island. You two are literally dating, Tyler said. Stop acting traumatized. I'm not traumatized. You look traumatized. Everyone laughed again. A few minutes later, Liam and I were carrying our bags toward the tiny emergency cabin attached to the back of the property. The moment we stepped inside, I froze. The place was small. Very small. One fireplace. One couch. One bathroom. And one bed. A single queen-size bed. Liam looked at it. Then at me. Then back at the bed. Well. This is awkward. I laughed despite myself. We've literally been dating for 6 months. Still. It's a bed, Liam. A very small bed. His grin appeared. And despite everything, my heart reacted. Stupid heart. The snow outside intensified throughout the afternoon. The storm became so severe that even the lodge staff stopped trying to clear the roads. Nobody was leaving anytime soon. By evening, the temperature had dropped dramatically. The fireplace became our main source of heat. Liam sat beside me on the couch while we watched snow swirl outside the window. The cabin felt strangely peaceful. Almost romantic. The kind of setting people dreamed about. A cozy cabin. A winter storm. The person you love sitting beside you. For a while, I forgot about my doubts. Forgot about Tyler. Forgot about the messages. Liam rested his head against my shoulder. You know what? What? This is actually kind of nice. I smiled. Being trapped? Being trapped with you. My cheeks warmed instantly. He noticed. Of course he noticed. You're blushing. I'm not. You are. I'm literally not. He laughed. Then gently took my hand. The simple gesture settled something inside me. This was Liam. My Liam. The guy who remembered my coffee order. The guy who drove 2 hours when my car broke down. The guy who stayed awake all night when I lost my grandmother. Not the teenager he used to be. Not anymore. Maybe I really was overthinking everything. Maybe the texts meant nothing. Maybe. Buzz. The sound shattered the moment. Liam's phone lit up. His smile disappeared. That same nervous look returned. The one I'd been noticing all weekend. He quickly unlocked the screen. Read the message. Then stood up. I'll be right back. My stomach dropped. Where are you going? Just outside for a second. Outside? Yeah. In a blizzard? He hesitated. Too long. Then forced a smile. Just a minute. The door closed behind him. I sat frozen. Listening to the wind. Listening to my heartbeat. Trying to ignore the feeling growing inside my chest. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. When Liam finally returned, snow covered his jacket. His cheeks were red from the cold. But something else caught my attention. His expression. He looked relieved. Like whatever conversation he'd just had was important. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah. The answer came too quickly. He sat beside me again. Close enough that our shoulders touched. Yet somehow, he felt farther away than he had all weekend. Later that night, we got ready for bed. The cabin lights were dim. The storm outside sounded even louder now. Wind screamed across the mountains. Snow hammered against the windows. The entire world felt isolated. Like we were the only two people left alive. I climbed into bed first. A few minutes later Liam joined me. The mattress dipped beneath his weight. Suddenly there wasn't much space between us. My pulse quickened. Not because of the bed. Because despite everything, I still loved being close to him. For several minutes neither of us spoke. The darkness filled the room. Then Liam rolled slightly toward me. "Hey. Yeah. I love you." The words hit me immediately. Soft. Simple. Honest. My chest tightened. "I love you too." A small smile appeared on his face. Then his phone vibrated again. The screen illuminated the darkness. Neither of us moved. For one brief second, the message preview appeared. And this time I accidentally saw part of it. From Tyler. "Everything is ready for tomorrow." My entire body went cold. Everything is ready for tomorrow? Ready for what? Before I could read anything else, Liam grabbed the phone and locked the screen. Too fast. Way too fast. The silence that followed felt different. Heavy. Dangerous. And for the first time since arriving in Aspen, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to go very wrong. Because whatever Liam was hiding, it was happening tomorrow. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that message. Everything is ready for tomorrow. For simple words. For words that somehow managed to occupy every corner of my brain. By morning, the storm had become even worse. Snow buried the windows halfway up the glass. The roads remained closed. The cabin felt smaller than ever. And my thoughts were getting louder. Liam was already awake when I opened my eyes. He sat near the fireplace scrolling through his phone. The moment he noticed me watching, he locked the screen. Again. Something inside me snapped. Not completely. Not yet. But the crack had started. "You okay?" he asked. "Fine. Ethan." "What? You don't seem fine." I forced a smile. "I'm just tired." The lie sounded weak even to me. Liam studied me for a moment. Like he wanted to say something. Instead, he glanced down at his phone. The screen lit up. A new message. Tyler. Once again. My stomach twisted. Liam quickly stood. "I'll be back." "Where are you going now?" He hesitated. That hesitation said everything. "Just outside." Again? His jaw tightened slightly just for a minute. The door closed behind him. I stared at the empty space he left behind. Trying to stay calm. Trying to trust him. Trying not to become the insecure boyfriend I promised myself I'd never be. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. The fireplace crackled quietly. The cabin felt painfully silent. Then Liam's phone buzzed. He had left it behind. My heart immediately started racing. I shouldn't look. I knew that. Every relationship expert in America would probably tell me not to. Trust mattered. Privacy mattered. But so did honesty. And right now, honesty felt very far away. The phone buzzed again. The screen lit up. A message preview appeared. From Tyler. "He can't find out before tomorrow." My breath caught. I stared at the screen. Certain I had read it wrong. "He can't find out before tomorrow." Find out what? My hands were shaking before I even realized I had picked up the phone. The passcode wasn't difficult. Liam had given it to me months ago. Because according to him, relationships shouldn't have secrets. The irony almost made me laugh. Almost. I unlocked the phone. The conversation opened automatically. And my heart sank. Message after message. Tyler, everything is set. Tyler, he'll never expect it. Tyler, tomorrow changes everything. Tyler, don't tell him yet. Tyler, he can't find out before tomorrow. I felt sick. The words blurred together. My chest tightened so hard it hurt. I kept scrolling. Looking for context. Looking for something innocent. Looking for proof that I was wrong, but all I found were more secrets. More plans. More conversations that apparently didn't include me. The cabin door suddenly opened. I nearly dropped the phone. Liam froze. Snow covered his jacket. His eyes immediately landed on the device in my hands. The color drained from his face. Ethan. The way he said my name made everything worse. Not better. Worse. Because it sounded guilty. What is this? His expression changed instantly. Panic. Not anger. Panic. Ethan, let me explain. I laughed. A short, bitter laugh. Explain what? It isn't what you think. Really? My voice rose. Because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like what I think. Ethan. No. Months of fear. Months of insecurity. Years of old wounds. Everything exploded at once. You've been lying to me this entire trip. I haven't. You have. No. You literally have. The words echoed through the tiny cabin. Liam took a step forward. I stepped back. The hurt on his face was immediate. But I couldn't stop. Not anymore. Who is he? Ethan. Who is he? It's not like that. The classic answer. The answer every guilty person gave. My chest burned. Then tell me what it's like. Liam opened his mouth. Then closed it. The silence felt like confirmation. And suddenly I wasn't standing in a mountain cabin anymore. I was 17 again. Alone. Embarrassed. Watching Liam Carter laugh while his friends made my life miserable. All those years of pain crashed into the present. Maybe that was unfair. Maybe it wasn't. But in that moment, I couldn't separate the boy he used to be from the man standing in front of me now. You know what? I said quietly. His face immediately fell. Because he knew that tone. He knew I was truly angry now. I defended you. Ethan. I spent months defending you. I know. I told people you changed. His eyes filled with hurt. I have changed. Have you? The question landed like a punch. For several seconds neither of us spoke. The storm howled outside, wind slammed against the cabin. The entire building rattled. Yet somehow the silence between us felt louder. Liam looked devastated. Genuinely devastated. But my own pain was too fresh to notice. Too raw. Too powerful. Maybe I was stupid. Ethan, don't. Maybe everyone else saw something I didn't. His breathing became uneven. Stop. Maybe you're still the same person. The words escaped before I could stop them. The second they did, I saw the impact. Like I'd physically hit him. Liam looked completely shattered. But I wasn't finished. Not yet. Maybe you're still the guy who hurts people whenever it's convenient. His eyes closed. For a brief second. As if those words hurt more than anything else I could have said. When he finally looked at me again, there were tears in his eyes. Actual tears. I would never do that to you. Then prove it. I can't. Exactly. No, Ethan. His voice cracked. You don't understand. Then make me understand. I can't tell you. The answer hit me like gasoline on a fire. I laughed again. Except this time there was nothing funny about it. You can't tell me. Ethan. You can't tell your boyfriend. I need you to trust me. The words were the final straw. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. How many times had people asked for trust while giving me reasons not to? I grabbed my jacket. Liam immediately stepped forward. What are you doing? I need air. Ethan, it's a blizzard. I don't care. You could get hurt. I don't care. His face turned pale. Ethan, please. For one tiny second, I almost stopped. Almost. Then I remembered the messages. The secrets. The lies. And the anger won. I opened the door. Freezing wind instantly blasted into the cabin. Snow swirled everywhere. Ethan. I stepped outside. The storm swallowed me immediately. Behind me, I heard Liam shouting my name. But I kept walking. Because at that moment, being trapped in a blizzard felt easier than staying in the same room as the man who had just broken my heart. And somewhere behind me, Liam made a decision. Because less than 30 seconds later, the cabin door slammed open again. And despite the storm he came after me. The storm hit me like a wall. Freezing wind. Blinding snow. Within seconds, the cabin disappeared behind a curtain of white. I could barely see 10 feet ahead of me. My heart pounded against my ribs. Partly because of the weather. Mostly because of Liam. The argument replayed over and over inside my head. The messages. The lies. The look on his face when I confronted him. I hated how much it hurt. I hated that after everything we'd been through, he still had the power to break my heart. Ethan. His voice echoed through the storm. I ignored it. Ethan. Closer this time. I kept walking. Snow crunched beneath my boots. The cold burned my face. But I didn't stop. Not until my foot slipped on an icy patch hidden beneath the snow. The ground vanished beneath me. I crashed hard. Pain shot through my ankle. A curse escaped my lips. Before I could stand, someone grabbed my arm. Ethan. Liam. Breathing hard. Snow covering his hair and jacket. His face looked terrified. Not angry. Not guilty. Terrified. What are you doing? He shouted over the wind. I yanked my arm away. What are you doing? I came after you. You should have stayed in the cabin. No. The answer came instantly. Without hesitation. Without doubt. No. For a moment, neither of us moved. The storm roared around us. Snow whipped across the mountains. Yet somehow, all I could see was him. The man standing in the freezing cold because he refused to let me walk away alone. Go back, I said. I'm not leaving you out here. Why? The word slipped out before I could stop it. Liam's expression changed. Because he knew exactly what I meant. Why chase me? Why fight for me? Why pretend any of this mattered if he was planning to hurt me? For several seconds, he just stared at me. Then something inside him seemed to break. Not in anger. In exhaustion. Like he'd been carrying something heavy for too long. Because I love you. The words hit harder than the wind. I don't know what to believe anymore. His eyes closed briefly. Then he nodded. Like he understood. Like he couldn't blame me. Okay. The simple response surprised me. No excuses. No. No defense. His voice cracked. I'm tired of defending myself against something I haven't done. The hurt in his words caught me off guard. For the first time since our fight, my anger weakened slightly. Just enough to listen. Liam took a shaky breath. You want the truth? Yes. All of it? Yes. He looked directly at me. Then finally said the words I'd been waiting for. Tyler isn't helping me cheat. The storm continued raging around us. Neither of us moved. Then what is he helping you do? For a second, Liam didn't answer. Then he laughed. A sad laugh. The kind that comes from someone who's already lost. You really thought I was cheating? What else was I supposed to think? His eyes filled with emotion. That after everything we've been through, after everything we've built together, you thought I would do that to you? The guilt hit me immediately. Because part of me knew he was right. The Liam I knew wasn't cruel. Wasn't careless. Wasn't that person anymore. Yet I had believed the worst. And deep down, I knew why. Not because of the messages. Because of the past. Liam seemed to realize it too. I've spent 6 months trying to prove I'm not that guy anymore. The pain in his voice was impossible to miss. But the second something looked suspicious. He stopped. Unable to finish. My chest tightened. Because he wasn't wrong. The silence stretched between us. Finally, Liam reached into his jacket pocket. Pulled out his phone. And handed it to me. No more secrets. I stared at him. What? Read it. What? Read everything. I hesitated. Then slowly took the phone. Liam opened a folder. Pictures. Documents. Messages. At first, none of it made sense. Then I saw my own name. And my breath caught. There were screenshots from old yearbooks. Photos from high school. Lists of names. Messages to former classmates. Emails. Dozens of them. I looked up. Completely confused. What is this? Liam swallowed hard. Then finally told me. For the last 4 months, Tyler and I have been organizing something. What? His eyes dropped to the snow. Like he couldn't bear to watch my reaction. A public apology. I blinked. What? A real one. The words trembled as they left him. Not the quick apology I gave years ago. I stared at him. Unable to process what I was hearing. Liam continued. I contacted people from school. My mind went blank. Why? Because I hurt people. The answer came immediately. No excuses. No justifications. Just truth. I hurt you. His voice broke. I hurt others too. The wind howled around us. Yet suddenly everything felt strangely quiet. I spent years pretending it wasn't a big deal. His eyes filled with tears. Then I met you again. He laughed softly. Brokenly. And somehow you gave me a chance I didn't deserve. I couldn't look away. Because for the first time, I wasn't seeing my boyfriend. I was seeing a man carrying years of guilt. Years of regret. Years of shame. I hated who I used to be. The confession barely rose above a whisper. I still do. A tear rolled down his cheek. He didn't wipe it away. I wanted to make things right. Another tear followed. I know I can't erase what happened. His voice cracked completely. I know I can't give you those years back. The sight shattered something inside me. Because these weren't the tears of someone caught lying. These were the tears of someone who genuinely hated the mistakes he'd made. Someone who had spent months trying to do something meaningful about them. The messages. My voice felt distant. Tomorrow was supposed to be the day. Liam nodded. There was a lodge event planned. I remembered Tyler's texts. Everything is ready. He can't find out before tomorrow. Tomorrow changes everything. Suddenly every message meant something completely different. And I'd destroyed it before it even happened. The realization hit like a truck. My stomach dropped. Oh my God. Liam looked away. Defeated. Like he already believed he'd lost me. I wasn't hiding another guy. His voice was barely audible. I was trying to become a better man. The words broke me. Because they were true. Every single one of them. For the first time all weekend, I saw the entire picture. Not the scared part of me. Not the insecure part. The truth. And the truth was standing in front of me, freezing in the middle of a blizzard because he refused to give up on us. Tears stung my eyes. Liam. He looked at me. Hope and heartbreak fighting inside his expression. One question escaped before I could stop it. A question that suddenly mattered more than anything else. Why would you do all this for me? The answer came immediately. Without hesitation. Without preparation. Straight from his heart. And the moment he opened his mouth, I knew my life was about to change again because losing you scares me more than facing my past. The words hung in the freezing air between us. For a moment, neither of us moved. The storm still raged around us. Snow still fell. Wind still screamed through the mountains. But suddenly none of it mattered. All I could see was Liam. The man standing in front of me. The man who had spent months trying to become someone better. The man who had chased me into a blizzard because he refused to let me walk away. And the man I had just accused of being the worst version of himself. My chest tightened painfully. Liam. His eyes dropped to the snow. Like he was already preparing himself for rejection. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. The sentence shattered me. Because for the first time, I realized how much guilt he still carried. Not guilt from getting caught. Guilt from genuinely regretting the person he used to be. You don't get to decide that. Because losing you scares me more than facing my past. The words hung in the freezing air between us. For a moment, neither of us moved. The storm still raged around us. Snow still fell. Wind still screamed through the mountains. But suddenly none of it mattered. All I could see was Liam. The man standing in front of me. The man who had spent months trying to become someone better. The man who had chased me into a blizzard because he refused to let me walk away. And the man I had just accused of being the worst version of himself. My chest tightened painfully. Liam. His eyes dropped to the snow. Like he was already preparing himself for rejection. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. The sentence shattered me. Because for the first time, I realized how much guilt he still carried. Not guilt from getting caught. Guilt from genuinely regretting the person he used to be. You don't get to decide that. His eyes slowly lifted toward mine. What? You don't get to decide whether I forgive you. A small, confused smile appeared. Despite everything, it was still the smile I loved. The smile that somehow made every room feel brighter. The smile I almost lost because of my own fears. I swallowed hard. I'm sorry. His expression immediately changed. For several seconds we simply stood there together. Snow falling around us. Hands intertwined. Two people trying their best to move forward. Then Liam smiled nervously. What? His smile widened. I've wanted to do something for the last 10 minutes. My heart skipped. Oh? Yeah. What? Instead of answering, he stepped closer. Slowly. Giving me every opportunity to move away. I didn't. The distance between us disappeared. His forehead touched mine. Warm breath mixing with the cold mountain air. And then he kissed me. Soft. Gentle. Patient. Not desperate. Not dramatic. Just real. The kind of kiss that said more than words ever could. The kind that felt like coming home. When we finally pulled apart, neither of us could stop smiling. We should probably get back before we freeze to death. I laughed. That's probably a good idea. Together, we made our way back toward the cabin. This time side by side. Not separated by secrets. Not separated by fear. Together. The next morning, the storm finally passed. Sunlight reflected off fresh snow covering the mountains. Road crews reopened access to the lodge. And for the first time in 2 days, everyone could move around normally again. Tyler spotted us walking toward the main building. The second he saw us holding hands, relief flooded his face. Oh, thank God. I laughed. What? I thought your surprise was ruined forever. Liam groaned. It kind of was. Not my fault. Tyler pointed at him. You were acting suspicious. I was trying to keep a secret. You were acting like a criminal. Even I couldn't argue with that. The rest of the morning passed in a blur. Then, shortly after lunch, everyone gathered in the lodge's event room. I had no idea what to expect. Even after learning the truth. Nothing could have prepared me. Former classmates appeared one by one. People I hadn't seen in years. Some were friends. Some weren't. Some had their own difficult memories from high school. At the front of the room stood Liam. Nervous. Terrified. Determined. For several seconds he simply looked at the crowd. Then he began speaking. No excuses. No blaming others. No pretending he had been a victim. He owned everything. Every mistake. Every cruel comment. Every person he had hurt. Including me. The room remained silent. Not because people were angry. Because they could tell he meant every word. When he finished, several people approached him. Some accepted his apology immediately. Others needed more time. And that was okay. Because real forgiveness couldn't be demanded. It had to be earned. As the event ended, Liam found me standing near the back of the room. Neither of us spoke at first. We didn't need to. The look in his eyes said everything. Hope. Love. Relief. Growth. All the things that brought us here. You okay? He asked. I smiled. Yeah. For the first time in a very long time, I truly meant it. Because something inside me had finally changed. The pain from high school would always be part of my story. But it didn't have to control my future. And the boy who once made me feel invisible had become the man who fought hardest to make sure I never felt alone again. As Liam reached for my hand, I squeezed it gently. Then together, we stepped forward. Not as a former bully and his victim. Not as two people trapped by the past. But as two people choosing each other. One day at a time. And somehow, that felt like the best ending either of us could have imagined. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more emotional love stories like this. Your support helps this channel grow.